Anarchy Online is a strange game, but not in the way you may think. Strange and ahead of the time during its era? Definitely. Before World of Warcraft, before Guild Wars, before the golden age of MMOs, there was Anarchy Online. Released in June 2001 by a Norwegian developer Funcom, Anarchy Online was one of the first popular online multiplayer roleplay games that take place in a deep science fiction universe. At launch, it was terrible. A lot of bugs, lag, and chaotic crashes. But over time, the game evolved, and so did the community. By the early 2000s, Anarchy Online found its footing. With a free-to-play model, an insanely deep skill system became one of the most complex class setups in MMO history. But what about today? Does it still hold up? Are there any players to be found? Does it have the same energy as it did back then? Well, I'm here to find out. As someone who hasn't played the game before, I'm willing to give it a chance and keep an open mind. I will try not to be overly critical or reasonable, considering it was made in the early 2000s. With that being said, I went online, made an account, it got declined. I must say that the first impression wasn't that good. Why? Well, it took me 5 tries to just make an account. For some reason my email wasn't registered properly and it kept sending me back to the start page of the browser. But eventually I got it to work and all was well. Until I had to open the launcher, that is. You see, I had to patch the launcher 10 to 15 times and it just kept rebooting. So I waited, and waited until there was hope. It finally got patched after 15 minutes and I was able to log in and get the ball rolling. I was greeted with an interesting loading screen that screamed Half-Life. You can take a look for yourself and tell me this isn't inspired by Half-Life.
Welcome to Ruby-Ka Territorial Space. We are about to dock with the Morningstar space station. Please return to your assigned space. Security locks will be engaged prior to gravity fall. Welcome to the Morningstar. In a short while, you will be ferried down to the surface of Ruby-Ka, where a new life awaits you. Please proceed through the laboratories and create the identity you wish to take on. Good luck.
This was definitely inspired by Half-Life. I mean, they were released only 3 years apart, so it's highly likely and obvious where the inspiration came from. Not throwing shade, just think it's cool. Now, this is where I praise the game for its character customization. Oh, and if you're one of those people who have a hard time deciding on the class, well, good luck, because this game has 14 of them. More than I initially expected, so good job on that. After creating my character, I decided to call him Shadow Sora, which basically means Shadow Sky. Look, I just wanted to type something. Anyway, I chose the Agent class inspired by the Matrix, if you were curious. After picking my class with pride, I was thrown onto a strange planet surrounded by machines, mutants, and a world that feels like it's on the brink of destruction.
Get some help.
No guides, no friends, just me, totally confused about how the game even operates. Truly a dystopia. They call it Ruby-Ka, I call it the beginning of something I wasn't ready for. When I say that I know nothing about this game, I mean it. I was so bad at the game that I didn't even know how to stand up. Yep, it was that bad. After taking in the fresh, polluted air filled with despair, I immediately got bombarded with lots of text and menus. That, I must say, was quite overwhelming. I kept reading, and I still couldn't find simple controls. So I came up with an idea. To make a friend. I asked in the chat if there was someone, and unfortunately I got no replies, until one person commented about the game being too dark. On that, I do agree. But it was just the nighttime, so I wasn't too bothered by it, since I had other issues to deal with. So now my goal is this: become decent at a game and complete a few missions, learn the controls, duh, make a friend, and help someone with something. If it's even possible. So, here are some of the highlights of me trying to figure out this game on my own. I think it will be amusing for all of us.
Please select breed and gender. Nanomage male selected. Agent selected.
Yeah, we'll be an agent. Matrix and all that. Now I'm thinking, will I be able to find anyone in this game? Or is this just pointless? Great, already in-game purchases. Well, the game is too dark. I agree with Zegzi. I don't know how to brighten the screen. I don't know what to do. Yep, I have been ignored. And as you can see, I asked again if anyone is online and I haven't received a single answer. So I'm not supposed to be here. If I jump, I can just show that I'm friendly, right? Hello? Not trading. I don't know what to do. Friends. I have no friends. I'm starting to wonder if this guy is even real. How do you play this game? What is wrong with the camera now? Can someone teach me how to play this game? As you can see, not a good start. I was starting to question everything, and as a beginner, that's not something you want to do. I was lost and confused. I was even questioning if other players were even real, or just plain bots. So after a few hours of gameplay, I decided to step back and give it a try the next day. Maybe there will be someone willing to respond to my message. So I sat down and logged out. Oh yes, by the way, that's how you log out from this game. You wait about 30 seconds while you meditate. Gotta replenish your chakra. When I logged back in, I faced the same problem. Turns out you get to continue where you left off, and for me, that was the sitting issue. Still unable to get up. Then a player approached me and looked at me. She's just watching me and judging me. I don't know how to play this. I click on team, recruit. She declined to join my team. Whoa, talk about friendly. So far, this does not look good. That was awkward. I don't blame anyone who found this amusing, especially if they're a veteran at the game. So like a toddler, I tried to find my way up and learn the controls by doing what anyone would do. Mash different buttons on the keyboard. Oh. I did something. Okay, I found it. Wait. I got up. I mashed some buttons and I figured it out. I got something. So apparently when you die, you're teleported somewhere else? What? I don't know if that actually did anything. Is that the accurate command? I just want to find a friend. I have nothing. You cannot trade with me. I must have picked the worst class. I think that this person didn't want to do anything with me, especially after the poor performance. So I was left alone yet again. The issue is that people can tell and see if you're a noob. And if you die over and over again, like I did, they can either laugh at you, ignore you, or mock you. So I was contemplating whether or not I will find anyone that is willing to help me. So I searched and searched until I finally found someone who responded to my message. They were so amused by my poor performance. Hey, at least I made someone smile. That's something. Avenging. You need to regain first. Say, I'm new to this game. Quite the noob. I can see. At least I learned how to type. That's something. Let's see if I can make a comeback. Did I just claim something? I like this guy. It's very cool. At least I can make him smile. Can this not pop up? Honestly, I picked this one because of Matrix. I don't even need to play the game. I'm actually chatting with this guy. And there we go. We made him laugh. Okay, we have something. Maybe I can make some progress. Okay, I gave enough compliments. I actually need to try and open up my menu. What is this? This might look daunting, but actually it was a very smart idea to upgrade first. So it wasn't that bad. And after perfectly aligning my layout, as you can see, so it's neat, I equipped myself with some weapons and armor, and I was ready to go and do some solo missions. Oh yeah, and this gun is trash. I remembered that my specialty is hand-to-hand combat, so that did way more damage than this pile of plastic. Finally, progress. After successfully finishing the mission, I decided to treat myself to a snack. And luckily, there was this one individual that sold food and some drinks, so I wanted to try it out. I don't know if the game doesn't work or the game mechanic is not implemented, but whenever you eat food or drink drinks here, you don't replenish your health. Actually, nothing happens. I don't know, to me it feels a bit pointless to spend money, but also not get anything in return. What's the point and purpose of it? Maybe it's just me and I don't know what it's used for. I mean, I can just show you and you could be the judge of it. Sounds fair? Press the button below marked with the symbol of a shopping cart. It will give you an overview of the current stock. Oh! Is this how I can replenish my health? I just noticed that I have received 5 credits from the corpse. You cannot afford this item, 62 extra cash is needed. We'll talk about being poor. I just wanted to include that moment. But here's how it actually looks like. After collecting some money and doing some side missions, I was able to get myself lots of food. But still nothing. Hello, Barry the food vendor. I have a lot of credits now. I can buy a lot of things. Let's see if my character can eat. I need to replenish my health. Oh, very tasty, but what about my health? Okay, so there's a delay when he does it, but I don't see any improvements. I fed him food that will last someone a lifetime, and this guy still hasn't budged. So I gave up and continued exploring. Or should I say upgrade myself to dominate my enemies. Look at that damage. As you can see, I've rearranged everything so it's convenient for me. I have the map, my inventory, team layout, even though I don't have anyone with me, but that's okay. Oh, and just when I was done organizing my stuff and my layout, the goat himself appeared again. I must give credit to this person. They were so helpful and nice that I didn't know how to respond. So I just kept replying and continued the conversation with a bit of humor. This person even went out of their own way to Google the links needed for a beginner, and that is more than I expected. I could sit here all day explaining to you how the conversation went. It lasted the whole day, but I still wanted to give some credit. I must admit that some stuff I didn't really understand, as they meant nothing to me, but they were so passionate about helping me that I just couldn't reject the help, which I was looking for initially. Some of the advices went over my head, and that is normal. Anyone in my place would be lost if they started fresh. But I adapted fast, and I quickly began to understand the concept and learned one thing after another. After some trial and error, I managed to understand most of the menus which the game offered. Oh, and about the food thing, there are just some small perks that reduce delay for healing and additional stuff I didn't know back then, but then I figured it out. So yeah, all in due time. And to name a few: inventory, skill tree, weapons, basic controls, investment, etc. Bonus points for getting 3 friends so far, but avenging was the GOAT, S tier. And it was only said to me that it's totally normal to be lost, so I was understood. Even a veteran like avenging was confused after a hiatus. So if the GOAT says this, then I'm off the hook. After the conversation has ended for the time being, I did some missions, leveled up, you know, the usual, and it felt like I knew what I was doing. Now I know it might be funny to someone watching this who has over 9,000 hours of playtime, but cut me some slack. I was only stuck for 1 hour. After I've seen that avenging has left, I felt like I got sent back to despair, but with a bit of experience. Soon I would realize that another person has arrived. Meet Kiki the Frog, another person who had pure intentions. They got stuck on the same mission as me, looking for a drone. We searched for 30 minutes, and apparently most of people did too. I didn't know that this was a majority issue, but it was a nice consolation. And during that time, we joked around, supported each other, and it felt wholesome. Oh, and I found out that you can switch to first person. That was random. So I finally found out about the feature that lets you mark your mission on the map, and I wanted to help Kiki the Frog, but they have logged off and, well, another loss. By the way, Kiki the Frog is French. I only found that out after they apologized for not responding to my message, since it took them a while to translate. But even with the language barrier, it shows that anything is possible. Just when I was about to call it quits and log off, Kiki has returned with a message that they had something to do and that they will be back. Like Arnold.
I'll be back.
That was funny and I saluted Kiki. The style and humor was there. So yet another friend that goes on the list, another S tier. Just when I was about to leave yet again, the game said no. The goat himself appeared for the last time with even more info and wisdom. I still didn't know what some of these things meant, but I applaud his dedication. Truly remarkable. So I played for another day, and not much has happened, but I can share my thoughts. While the game mechanics and animations might look silly, sloppy, and even goofy, they are not what marks the whole experience. For me, it shows that there is still some fun to be had. Not from the game, but from the people who play it, the community that lifts each other up while enjoying the gameplay together. There's something quite charming about that, and I do kind of miss that era of gaming. It's about the moments and memories that tie not just to this game, but to any experience that can leave a lasting impact on an individual. As for my opinion whether or not this game is dead, I'd say it still has a pulse. That could change if people decide to give it another try. For those who haven't played it before, it will certainly spark nostalgia, and that feeling could reignite the cycle, allowing new players to experience the same sense of excitement. With that being said, I said my farewells to those I played with and I logged off. It was a fun experience.